You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us, but it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Back.
We're back. We're back for part 2.
And it's a different day.
It's a different day. What do you mean it's a different day? Oh, you mean we didn't record on the same day?
Yeah.
Right.
Part
because
2.
sometimes what happens, I was actually talking to some friends last night, and they were talking about how they manage their time when they're recording their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
Do you have any tips?
Well, I said it's kind of funny. Like we were recording our podcast, and we thought it would be like a 25-30 minute episode, and I think it was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So when you put the jingles in and all that stuff.
It's the jingles that throw us off. You and I could seriously talk for days, though. That's the it's true. We went on that 8-day cruise, and I don't know that there was a silent time.
I'm sure there was.
When? I don't think so. Maybe when we were watching Love It Enlisted, but that's that's it. So yes, we could talk about nothing.
So we're back.
We're back. So what we ended off with last week or 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
See, I keep saying that. 2 weeks ago was you stayed at the Contemporary because you love it. You ate lots at the Contempo Cafe because you love it. And we talked about the quick service dining.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. Yeah. We did not actually cover our trips or things we did. And we were both traveling with people who hadn't been in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Which was kind of neat to see their reaction to all the changes in the parks.
Yeah.
Was there anything that sort of stood out? So I had my 2 nephews, Ross and Andrew, with me. I posted pictures of Andrew, none of Ross, because he doesn't let me. But he was there. And they are both Star Wars fans. So they had not been to Galaxy's Edge.
And you guys didn't go till so many days in, like.
Well, yeah. So
poor buggers.
This is the problem with, like, God love my sister, but she does the planning and she doesn't listen to me. So she planned it so that we had our first 4 nights at Bay Lake Tower. And our plan was at Bay Lake Tower, we were going to do Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Disney Springs. So we would do those 3 while we were there. And then when we moved resorts and we went over to the boardwalk, that's when we were going to do Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Had it been up to me, I probably would have just done 2 days at Bay Lake and the rest at boardwalk, because I would have wanted to get them over to Hollywood Studios a little sooner. Like we did. We delayed it like 4 or 5 days to get them there, which the poor dudes, they were waiting
So what
forever.
did they think? After all the long-awaited,
yeah. Well, and you know what? We should talk about Genie Plus. So that I was determined that they were going to experience everything that first day and really immerse themselves in it. So I woke up early and I bought Genie Plus for the 4 of us. And then I bought the individual Lightning Lane for Rise of the Resistance for the 4 of us. And then I used the Genie Plus to make reservations for the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
I did it strategically where we did the Falcon first, because as much as the Falcon feels very emotional to me, it doesn't, you can't go on Rise and then go on the Falcon. Like, you just can't. Agreed?
Sure.
Well, because it's 2 separate things. So, but here's the thing. Do you know my credit card? It was $200. $200 US.
Wow.
For the Genie Plus and the individual Lightning Lane. So on top of the tickets we'd already purchased, I spent $200 that day to make sure that they could experience what they wanted to in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, what they needed to for sure.
Yeah. Like there
Did it
was
work
no
out
way
okay?
it did. So we got there, we managed to walk around and let them sort of see and take in everything. And it's funny because they were in awe the moment we walked in, just from the sounds and all the things they could see. And we hadn't even made it to the Falcon yet. They
Hmm.
were both like, wow, wow. We stopped, took pictures of TIE fighters and all that kind of stuff. And then when they saw the stormtroopers, whoosh, mind blown. Andrew got interrogated by one, which he was like, ah, which was pretty cool. And then they saw the Falcon, and that was epic.
Hmm.
And then we did Oga's Canteen. So we had
Oh
reservations
wow,
at
yeah.
Oga's, which was fun. And we ordered, have you ever ordered, we've ordered treats or the snacks in there once or twice, but we ordered the chips.
No.
They were really good. Like
Hmm.
really, because I was kind of like a little peckish, and we each ordered our drinks. And then I
How
ordered
much
like
did the
this.
drinks cost? Like add
Oh
on to
my
the
gosh.
$200 what it cost to have 4 drinks.
I know. I think my nephew picked up that tab, but yeah, like the drinks are so expensive. I didn't have, you know me, like if it I don't have the weird alcohol drinks we did before in there. So I actually had a fruit punch kind of thing, and I can't remember what it was called
Java
now.
juice.
Jabba juice. Jabba juice. Well, how did you know? Is that what you had?
Well, there's not very many things.
Yeah, I had the Jabba juice. It was really delicious, and it had little boba balls in it at the bottom, and so that
Yeah,
was
I
really good.
probably had that too.
Yeah, and then we ordered the snacks. So we ordered chips, and it was just a little plate of chips with dip, but it was delicious. They were
Hmm.
like they were almost like dried vegetables, but like in the shape of chips.
Hmm.
It was really good. It was really good. So we did that. And then we did the Falcon, which was pretty awesome. Unfortunately, they weren't the pilots, which kind of sucked. But even just walking through, you could see their faces. They were like, ah. Um,
Hmm.
and then of course, Rise of the Resistance, like they couldn't even say anything when we got off Rise. They were just like, whoa.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like even going through, the whole pre-show and then the line and then the this and the that, they were I think they actually thought that was most of it. Like they didn't realize there was a whole other part where we get in the vehicle because
Wow.
it was so immersive. Like I think, yeah. So they both loved it. Both loved it. Yeah, it was everything they wanted.
That's cool. How
It
long
was
did you spend in there, do you think, in total?
we were in there for quite a while, but not a whole ton. Not a whole ton of time. I actually expected them to do more, but we ended up, it was going, I think that was the day we thought it was going to rain. So with my sister's scooter, we got to get out of the rain.
Mm.
Um, and then we went back and oh no, it was her scooter battery was dying. So FYI, she went through 3 scooters in this 8 days
Wow.
because there were battery problems. Um, so thankfully they were good about swapping the scooters out, but it was a pain because I took her, we left Hollywood Studios because I was afraid I was going to end up pushing this scooter. So yeah, but then they went back later and experienced it all. We did Mickey Minnie's Runaway Rail because I bought Genie Plus. We were using it for Mickey Minnie's and for Toy Story Midway Mania, which was fun. So we
Yeah,
made
I
sure to
didn't
do
do
that.
Toy Story. Our day was kind of the same. We spent a lot of time there. It was really neat. Ooh, ate at
Ooh,
docking base. Ooh, look at all the stuff. Took lots of pictures. We ate at docking base 7. We built a droid. Um,
So talk about this droid. So yeah, Andrew was going to do it, and then he decided against it.
it's fun. Like it is really like it's more like if you want to bring a remote control droid home. Like the experience is fairly quick and it would wow probably little kids a lot more than big kids. But
Oh no, Andrew was wowed. He just, then he started trying to be practical about how much money he was going to spend on it.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. It was a rainy day, so like we had to worry about getting the droid, like because they just put it in the cardboard box, so we had to make sure it didn't get wet. But like our first day at Galaxy's Edge was a rainy one, like not rainy like torrential downpour for the whole day, but like good bouts of rain here and there. So we didn't have Genie Plus. We rode Rise twice, and we rode
That's awesome because of the rain.
well, and the thing is, the wait time stays 65 minutes, and we got into Rise, the first room. We got into the Orlando MCO transfer vehicle at 25 minutes. And then we were like, well, let's do
Wow.
it again. And then we did Millennium Falcon. It was just as long as it took to walk through that
That queue.
ridiculously long queue.
You
So
think that queue's ridiculously long
they
for
all
the
are
Falcon? Yeah.
like,
It's kind of like rivaling Flight of Passage.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's a
it's pretty
long walk.
long.
Yeah.
Long walk. So yeah, we were lucky you didn't have to buy Genie Plus, but we did get to do those things. And I think it probably was a little bit because of the rain. It was later in the afternoon and when people just leave, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, we found a lot of times the wait time said 60 minutes. And kind of like, well, what else are we gonna do? Let's just go in
You may
line.
as well.
And they were far less, like less than half of a even Mickey's and Minnie said it was going to be 60 minutes and we were probably in 20. So,
Wow.
but yeah, that was the when we were at Galaxy's Star Hollywood Studios, it was mostly just to see Galaxy's Edge. That's pretty much all we did. Walk through Toy Story Land, went to Galaxy's Edge on 2 visits. We didn't do any of the other rides that we went on. Well, obviously Muppets 3D, but other than that, just did Mickey and Minnie's and Galaxy's Edge, and we visited Hollywood Studios twice in the week.
Wow. Andrew did ask about the Muppets 3. We didn't get to it, but he did say like Carrie would be mad if we
Horrible.
didn't. I
Takes
know.
like 15 minutes of your day and you
I
can't fit it
know.
in.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
They got
sorry.
new chairs.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Nice
Nice.
red chairs, red new. Yeah, so they
Oh,
look
so
nice.
maybe I should have gone in to see the new chairs.
Yeah, it looks good because they were pretty worn.
Yeah, they were. They
So
were. It's
they're
nice to see them putting some money in there.
nice new red chairs.
So
Well, they might
what
not be new. They've just been refinished, probably redone.
so if you think of the highlights of your trip, what do you think they were?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it too much. We didn't really do too much.
Yeah, I think at some point I said to you, like, are you trading me in or what? Like when you and I go on vacation, when we've talked about this before, you and I go to Walt Disney World and we don't do a lot. Like if we do the attractions, great. If we don't, great. If we find a bench, great. Like we wander and we don't do a ton.
Yeah.
So then when you said to me, like, yeah, we wandered, we did this, and I was like, oh, she trading me in? Are you finding a new travel
No,
companion?
it's just easy. Like it's just how you go. Like if you don't you know if you only need to kind of see the stuff you haven't done yet, and you don't really feel like running around like a crazy person, you just mosey. And we had to use our dining credit, so that was a priority. We couldn't waste
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
We had to meet up with you guys and do
Yeah,
stuff. So yeah, it was perfectly fine. Like no, like we didn't. I guess we probably could have done a little bit more, but it is what it is. It's like a vacation. You're actually relaxing if you're not running around, unless you want to run around like crazy. But that's not what we wanted to do, and that's not what you guys want to do usually too. So
it isn't, but this time I did, and I did message you and say I need a Carrie vacation
mhm.
because my two nephews are like 6 feet tall, so their legs are long, which means they can walk faster than me. And then Becky's on a scooter. So Grandma Moses at the back here is not used to walking every day. Like I swear my watch was thinking I was having a heart attack every day. And like I go from being at home doing like 2,000 steps a day to I'm there 15,000 steps.
Yeah,
And like Ross, like, how come you've got more steps than me? And I'm like, because I have to take two for every one of yours.
yeah. Yeah, kind
So
of the same for us. Like we don't walk very much, and then even walking like 10 to 15 is so much. Like when you're so used to sitting at a desk all day long.
yeah.
Like, I know we do this every time we go to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, but just generally on our day to day, I don't move very much. So
Me
yeah,
neither.
like late starts, like getting to the parks at noonish, and then um and staying kind of late, but still by the time and we hopped every day pretty much.
Yeah,
But yeah, like by the end of the day, you pooped. You're just tired.
I was
Like, and we
exhausted.
and we like again, that's moseying. Like that's not being a park warrior.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of effort, like a lot of walking, even when you're at the Contemporary and you're going to the Epcot. Like even just the walk
Yes.
to transfer the monorails and get into Epcot and whatever,
That
and then
hill to
get
get on
back
the
at
other monorail. Oh,
then get back at the end of the day is a lot of steps, let alone um, you
people
know,
are people are listening like you two lazy cows.
so lazy.
But it's
But it
true.
is
I was
tiring.
exhausted. I,
Hmm.
I was absolutely exhausted.
Well, and I guess like some days are longer than others or more steps than others, but I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to walk from. I did like when I was at Disneyland in September. I had days like that. One day I walked 30,000
Oh
steps,
my
over
gosh.
thirty
Oh
thousand
my
steps,
gosh.
and that was like, yeah, just so much stuff to do. End of the day with Oogie Boogie Bash, like yeah, like I can do days like that, and maybe I'm not, I'm just as tired as a 10,000 step day. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, but I think we're okay to do what we like to do.
I think
I
so.
still, we
I
still
think
walked a
so.
lot and saw a lot. Like there was stuff like I didn't see the Epcot show,
So you
like just
didn't
because
see Luminous?
no, and it was like the night we were gonna go do that at Epcot. It was rainy, so
Oh.
didn't do that. We had weird weather. Like some days it was 10 degrees, some days it was rainy. Like we didn't have like all day rain, but enough rain to clear the park sometimes. Um, but um, but then some days it was like 25.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it was weird. It was weird weather week too, but still way better than being at home.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I thought the weather was okay. There was probably only one night that I was actually cold. Um and that was I think our first night. We arrived and we went to Magic Kingdom because we were going to try and do Tron, like we got a virtual queue for the evening hours, like for the deluxe resort guests. And but we knew like it was going to be probably 11:30 before our boarding came up, so we were like, I'm not going to stay, like there's no way we're going to make it. And then about 8:30 or 9 o'clock we're still going, and then we're like, do you want to ride this? Okay. Do you want to ride this? Okay. And then before we knew it, it was like 10:15, and then it was like, I feel like we're so far in, like now
Yeah.
we're invested, we're almost there. So we decided to just wait. And we probably got back to the hotel that night at like quarter after 12.
Yeah, we were there that night too. We didn't meet up with you guys, but we only went on a few attractions to make the Disney people listening make them lose their mind. Like I went to Magic Kingdom 3 times, maybe. I
Yeah.
can't two, 3 times, maybe only twice, but maybe 3 times. Can't remember. Went on the People Mover,
Yeah.
the
I never
Carousel
even
of
got on the People
the
Mover.
Carousel of Progress,
Yeah.
the Country Bear Jamboree because I had to see it one last time,
Me too.
and Haunted Mansion. I think that's
Nice.
probably the only attractions we went on.
Really?
I don't think we went on too many others
That's
if we
okay.
did.
That's what I would have done myself. But because I had the others with me.
But I watched the parade because you know me, I love parades. I'd sit and
Yeah.
I'd walk over and watch that parade. If I had the perfect trip and I was staying at Contemporary all by myself, I
Yeah.
probably would just like go over and like ride
People
Pirates,
Mover.
People Mover, Carousel of Progress, Pirates, and Haunted Mansion. Big Thunder Mountain, probably. I'd probably sprinkle those throughout the days. And
Yeah.
then I would walk over every day and watch a parade and walk over and squish myself in front of the castle and watch the fireworks every night. So we did watch the parade and waited like I wanted a spot on Main Street. I waited 45 minutes an hour. Like I found a spot on
Yeah.
the curb, sat, and the same with the fireworks. Like we stood and waited for the fireworks. So like, you think of that too, right? Like a parade, you've got to wait for it to come down Main Street. That was a
Oh
2 hour
yeah.
experience by the time the parade was over. So there's two
Yeah.
hours of your day because you want to have a decent spot and a
For the
seat
parade.
for the parade. So, but yeah, that's all that I did at Magic Kingdom. And I did even less at Epcot probably. And I told you what I did at Hollywood Studios. Animal Kingdom, I went on the safari a couple times and Flight of Passage, I believe, and that was it. But I spent 2 days there. Yeah.
At
Oh,
Animal Kingdom,
I went on Navi River
yeah.
Journey. That
We
was
did
another one. Like
Navi and Flight of Passage.
that ride is very beautiful. And
It's
I
yeah.
if the line it said 60 minutes, and again, when you're like, well, we're just here to do whatever we want to do, it said 60 minutes and we were like, well, let's just do it, right? Like
May as well.
we were in the ride in 20 minutes.
Nice.
And when you wait 20 minutes for that ride, it's a lovely ride. It is
It
so
is.
beautiful. And then when I'm in
I
it, I
would
think
be
I
mad
never
if I waited 60.
Mhm. And I don't know that I would want to buy Genie Plus, especially just to ride it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in that situation, I would have got on it and rode it again if I knew I was only going to be 20 minutes. Like it's so beautiful, and I never ride it because I don't want to. Like I'd
Wait.
ride it if I had Genie Plus or was with somebody that had DAS or Genie Plus and we were on it. But I would never like I hadn't been on it in quite a while, and it is beautiful. Whether
It is.
the the thing at the end is working or not, or
Oh,
has
the
got
audio animatronic.
yeah,
That
like
thing is amazing.
like it's just it really is a beautiful ride. So
It is. I think we only did we did the two in Pandora. And Andrew really wanted to do Everest, but it was down the whole day. So we didn't get to do that. We didn't even do the safari.
Did you go on Dinosaur?
Before. Andrew did. Andrew did. So I was kind of happy that he is comfortable enough to do things by himself. However, he didn't tell me that until after we did Space Mountain. So we're at Magic Kingdom and he's like, yeah, I really want to go on Space Mountain, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. So we go, we line up, we get in line. We were there for that night. And seriously, after we get off, he said something about and he's like, I'm fine to go by myself. And I'm like, could you not have told me that before we got on Space Mountain? Because let me tell you, getting out of Space Mountain is getting harder and harder. Like the only saving grace for me on that ride is that I kind of remember the tracks. So I knew what was coming. But yeah, like as an old woman, it's no. Like I'm just done with Space Mountain.
As an old woman. Oh,
they
man.
did enjoy Tron. So they did enjoy that. Andrew did do Guardians of the Galaxy. He did say it made him feel a little sick. Which
we went on that too.
Yeah.
Ratatouille,
they both loved it.
Did you guys do that during the day or did you do the late night for that? Did they do that
for
on the late
Tron
night?
Or
for Guardians and Ratatouille.
Oh, Guardians, I just bought it for him because it was like he was the only one that wanted to do it. Ratatouille, I think we did during the day.
Because that's the one thing, like with we never we always stay, well, not always, but lots of times we stay at deluxe resorts, but we're not into staying up too late to run through the parks. But those couple of extra hours at Magic Kingdom and at Epcot, like if you can do the virtual queue for Guardians, you can do Ratatouille, and you could do Frozen Ever After. You're laughing all the way to the bank because you haven't bought Genie Plus to do them. Yeah. And then if you go in the park another time, then you can easily do, at the start of the day, all the other things that are up at the front of the park. Like it probably would be hard to fit any more in that night. Like you could either go run around and do all the non-popular things, but you could easily get those 3 popular things done in those 2 hours. Probably fit in something else. Maybe jump on Spaceship Earth before the park closes or something.
Right.
But that's a really good couple of hours to do that stuff
to get stuff done. Yeah.
And you can do the Tron virtual queue. Like I'd expect maybe that one's a little bit busier at Magic Kingdom on the deluxe nights. Maybe there's 3 deluxe resorts like right there.
Yeah.
right
It
in their
was
back,
pretty
right in
bit
their
like
backyard.
it did take a while for our boarding group and stuff to come up, but at that point we were so invested. We were like, forget it, we're just doing it. Um, so that was good. At least we got that done. We did the pirates. Uh, we did Jungle Cruise. We were actually on the Jungle Cruise when the fireworks started that night, which was pretty cool. I've never
That
been
is
on the
cool.
Jungle Cruise when they started. One night we did do the fireworks from Fantasyland. So, but they, because it was so windy, they had blocked off most of Fantasyland. Like, so the places where I normally go to watch the fireworks, we couldn't get to. So we were basically right outside Seven Dwarfs Mine Train line.
Mm.
And
That'd
that's
be
where
all
we
right.
watched from. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool. The fireworks were right on top of us.
Yeah, I do like watching them from back there, and I would, but I do like I'm just a sucker for the castle being in front.
I
Like I don't
know.
like watching them like from the outlook on the Contemporary. Like it's all right, but like they pipe in music to like the one side, and it's so far away, and you have to like watch from a specific angle. You got to be there early to get a good spot, and you just don't feel connected to the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like them from there. But this trip, I was out front under the front where I don't even know what that area is called. Like it's kind of by the front, like the check-in area, like the where you pull up your car to check in. And they pipe the music loud there.
Yes.
And I watched the fireworks from there one night, and that is the best kept secret. Who you don't need to watch them from a beach. You don't need to go up to the Contemporary fifth floor or fourth floor, whatever it is, and be squished and trying to peek and try to find a good spot with the monorail beam in the way. Yeah, down at the front lobby, outside the front lobby is like golden, golden.
Nice.
And you had said they do that at BLT, right? So
Yeah.
BLT would be even closer, but
Same
the
thing.
angle is perfect and the music is so loud. Like you sure you can really see right from where I was the like the projections on the castle or whatever, but they're so darn close and the music is so loud, like you actually
You feel like you're
you
part
can
of
get
it.
the feels and feel like you're part of it versus, feeling distant from it. So
Well, you're really not that far from the park at that point where
yeah.
you're standing out front. So
But
it kind of
it's
makes
still
sense.
different from like when you're up on the outlook at the Contemporary, like the music isn't that loud. Like you need the music to like take over. Like that's what it does when it's in the park and you're in front of the castle. But
Right.
it's I'm pretty sure they only have speakers really on the one side and you have to like if you're not there for we went up the one night and if you're not there early enough to get like the prime viewing location, like there's monorail beams in the way, like you can't see anything and you really can't hear anything either. So
Right.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
those
the front
fireworks are pretty awesome.
they're
We
spectacular.
we did do I don't know if I did I tell you this on the last episode we did Dumbo? Did I tell you
No.
that? So the late night we were there, we were killing time or whatever, and I think Ross said, "Why don't we go on Dumbo?" So there wasn't any line. We get over there and we assume the dude is going to tell us that we each get our own Dumbo,
Oh no.
but no, two of you in one in the other. So we're like, so Ross and I get in this Dumbo together. Carrie, like our hips were wedged. There was no point in even putting on the seatbelt because we weren't budging. And we laughed the entire time. Like the entire time. So like I have pictures of the two of us on it when we were kids. And now, yeah, so we laughed the whole time. The
That's
whole time.
awesome.
Like Andrew was yelling. He's like, "What's going on up there?" Because we just could not stop laughing because at one point our Dumbo wouldn't even go up. Um, so so that was kind of fun. We did that one. We did see Luminous. So the first time I actually saw it twice. The first time we saw it, we actually stood behind a garbage can up against the railing so nobody could stand in front of us, which was pretty cool. It you know what? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I really much preferred it over the what was the one
Harmonious.
Harmonious. I preferred over Harmonious. Of course, I loved Epcot Forever because of the nostalgia, but I really did like this one. And then the second time I saw it, I was exhausted. We were at the boardwalk, and my nephew's like, "I'm going back to see the fireworks." I'm like, "I can't do it. I just can't." But then, like half an hour later, I'm like, "This is crazy. I'm gonna kick myself when I get home if I don't see this again." So I managed
You
all
got
my
the gumption to
energy.
do
I
it.
got the gumption. I walked over, but by the time I got there, I could not walk no further. So, when you just come in the International Gateway, I was literally on that bridge, on the bridge next to France. And I stood back so all the people were in front of me, and it was still beautiful.
Hmm.
So,
Cool.
yeah, I was very glad that I did that.
That's awesome.
We also did lunch at Space 20.
Oh, 220?
220.
220?
220.
What did they think of that?
They really enjoyed it. So they loved the food. And of course they thought it was done really well. And all of the whole event of getting there and going up in the elevator and stuff, they really enjoyed that.
It's really cool.
It's fun to kind of be there with people who haven't seen things recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to see the differences. And then of course, when we were at Magic Kingdom, we did wait to see Pooh Bear.
Of
Now,
course.
if you know Andrew, Pooh Bear is everything. He loves Pooh Bear. So we waited in line and I said, okay, fine, you can get your picture with him and then I'll come in later. But it was so funny because he went in and he was making such a fuss over Pooh Bear that Tigger stood off to the side and was like pointing and shrugging like, hey, what about me? Because he was just being ignored. So that was
That's
good.
funny.
And we all got to meet Figment.
That's cool.
That was fun.
I went up in the DVC lounge.
Did you?
And after meeting Figment.
Nice.
Or I guess went up to whatever makes sense. Maybe we went up and then on the way down we did go on the Figment ride too. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Figment ride up in the DVC lounge and then pictures with Figment on the way out, I think, or something. Whatever.
Nice.
Can't remember.
Yeah. But we did Imagination a couple
times.
It's funny,
like when you think you've got all of Epcot at your fingertips and you go watch Figment.
And we did it twice.
We thought about Soarin', thought about Test Track,
Yep.
But yeah, Figment, FIGMENT.
You can do things differently. Yeah. And we did Spaceship Earth a couple times. So they really enjoyed. I mean, they both nostalgia wise, they love Spaceship Earth. Andrew did do Test Track. He did the single rider Test Track. That's a great secret in Epcot is that line is like nothing. Mm-hmm. It took him less time to do Test Track single rider than it did for his virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then we did a lot of eating around Epcot. So we did a bunch of different food booths. I got my Figment popcorn bucket.
I know. I wanted to get that and I talked myself out of it.
It did not fit in my suitcase.
And I'm glad then I didn't buy it.
It did not fit in my suitcase because you know why? It was just too pointy. So Andrew
Did you have to wear it?
Well, no, Andrew didn't have any carry. Andrew had nothing, right? So he carried it home for me. It was his carry-on.
I wondered, I'm sure there's lots of people that carry on lightsabers, droids, popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see we worry so much about our weight of our bag or whatever. And you see people and they've got bags of shopping that they're bringing on board.
I know. And so that bugs me when I see how big some of the bags are that are coming on the plane. It's wow, you guys should be checking some of this. But yeah, so that was kind of, I'm trying to think if there were any other big highlights that
you talked about your dining. You did Steakhouse 71.
Of course.
You did 20 Space 220.
We did.
What else did you do for dining? Did you do any other table service?
Ohana. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, so we did Ohana. We have not done Ohana in years. So we did Ohana because Ross and Andrew, they both love it. It was good. I mean, it was good. It was good. They don't bring the skewers of meat anymore. It's like a plate of full size, they were full chicken breasts, full pieces of steak, instead of just the little bite-sized pieces, which was a bit hard for me because I was I really wanted to eat the steak, but I didn't want to take a whole thing. But it's not like they were going to serve it to somebody else anyway. But yeah, I just I missed the bite-sized pieces, but it was good. Like the food was just as
Did you
good.
guys like the amount they gave you? Did you guys eat it all, or did you have lots left over? Like, did they
Oh,
give you
we
too
ended
much?
up ordering more.
Oh,
So you
okay.
know how you can get more. So we ended up getting more of the pot
Shrimps?
stickers because we love those. Uh
Shrimps?
Noodles and steak and
Shrimps?
chicken.
Oh.
No, they brought out this massive thing of shrimps for us, but Becky's the only one that eats them. So she was as she was eating
Dang.
it, I'm like, Carrie would be so happy if she was here. You
But
can't
they
leave
still
these
have the
shrimps because Carrie would Carrie
they
would be
but they still
mad.
give you salad and they give you
Yeah,
pot stickers and they give
yeah,
you noodles still.
yes,
And the meat still chicken, steak, and shrimps.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And bread pudding for dessert?
And bread pudding for dessert. Did you know you can order more bread pudding?
Yeah, I would think
I
so.
didn't know. I guess I don't know why, but I never really thought about it.
I would
So
think that often you wouldn't have any room for more bread pudding.
exactly. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that was a good one. And we had no plans that night. Like we literally made no plans to do anything afterwards
You
because
weren't
we
going to
all
be able to
knew we
move.
weren't going to be able to move. You know what I did find funny? So in Norway, you know when you're going through Norway, there's like this building and it's like it looks like it's something like it almost says like the temple of the gods or something, and
Mhm.
it's a very small. Have you ever been inside it? Did you know you could go inside it?
Maybe. I don't remember like from my memory, but what's
The
inside of it?
wood carvings and like these whole displays about different gods.
Hmm.
I had no idea. So we were walking by and I was going to take a picture of Andrew there and he's like, let's go inside. And I'm like, inside? And then he opens the door. I'm like, what the heck? Never knew. See, again, you could go 100 times, always seeing
Yeah.
something you never knew was there, which
No,
was
for
kind of
sure.
cool.
I like we spent a lot of time like looking at the trains in Germany. Like I hadn't stopped and like we just sat like hung out there for like half an hour or so, like just looking at all the little things and noticing stuff. Like yeah, you just there is so much stuff to do that yeah, like you sometimes you just need
Just,
to stop and think about it and it was neat
yeah,
standing there for that long and watching them and taking pictures and remembering, what all is there that because you just walk by most of the time. You've seen it once, maybe you'll walk by. Same can be said for like when you're talking about uh Norway, thinking about like treats, like with Germany, like we walk by and I'm like, oh, I got to get some of that popcorn. And like there's just so many treats, so many things
yeah,
like unless you've got your heart set and it's like do or die, you've got to do it this time or else. Like it's so there's so many things like to squirrel, you think
I know.
like that you think you want to do something and then something else comes away or you eat something and then you're not going to have room to eat that treat or whatever later. Like, I guess that's a thing. Like some people do plan and schedule and figure out everything that they're gonna eat and do. But like when you do kind of go with the flow, like things just happen and then you're like, oh snap. I
Yeah.
just ate that. I can't get a big bag of popcorn right now or whatever, right? So it's like there's so much to see and there's so many things like you said we forget about and you know,
Well,
I
they
don't know.
were,
I think even if you like went Park Warrior like 5 days front to, top to bottom, you would definitely like you can't like all the details and like enjoying the ambiance and really like taking it all in. Like, you'd do lots of stuff and check stuff off your list, but maybe not,
yeah.
like the like sitting 30 minutes watching the trains or people watching while you're waiting for the parade for 45 minutes. Oh dear.
They
But
were
anyway,
very big on they wanted to try eating around the world and doing like those food booths. But the one day I said to them, we're going to get a waffle at Connections. Like it's fine. There's four of us. I'll get two waffles. We'll split them just so you can have a taste. And they were like,
mhm.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
They loved the waffles. Loved them.
Waffles
Um,
are good.
we also got our picture with the Walt statue, which was
Yeah,
pretty
didn't do that
awesome.
either.
Um, I actually did it twice. We went back, but there were some random characters out in Epcot that I saw walking around. So no lines, they were just walking around. And characters that you don't normally see, like the penguins from Mary Poppins.
That's exciting.
I was very excited to see them, and they were just down the side of the American Pavilion and managed to get
Wow.
my picture. Yeah. Eeyore was down there. Like it was different. Like, I don't know, are they testing these? Are they doing something to figure out if they can do more like Disneyland where they're walking around and it's not such a crazy thing? I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's
And
yeah, like I love seeing stuff like that. That's really the only reason for doing that is enhancing the guest experience.
yeah, for sure. They were both very big on ice cream this trip too. So the ice cream parlor at the boardwalk, I think pretty much both of them got ice cream every night. There and also on Main Street.
How many Dole Whips did Andrew eat that week?
Andrew went and got Dole Whip after Ohana. Like, honest to goodness, we were all like, oh, Ross is like, even I can't do that. Like, but yeah.
I probably
Um,
could.
yeah, it was pretty impressive. It was
Like,
pretty
because every
impressive.
time I asked what you guys were doing, if you were in Magic Kingdom, you were like, Andrew's getting a Dole
Dole
Whip.
Whip.
I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, good
Oh
for
yeah.
him.
Yeah, he made the most of that for sure.
Well, he's been a long time since he's had one, so he's got to make the most of it.
He
And
was
that's
making
again
up
a
for it.
priority. Like that was his must-do priority.
He was making up for it for sure.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know what? It was a really good trip. It was a really good trip and I'm
And
glad
did you
they
like your room at Boardwalk? Did you guys have a new room?
we did. We had a new refurbished room. So it was beautiful. It was nice and bright, lots of plugs and outlets and things like that. The only thing is when you go from a one bedroom at Bay Lake Tower to a one bedroom at the boardwalk, there's only one bathroom at the boardwalk.
Oh,
Bay Lake Tower has two. And when you got four adults,
yeah, that's
that's it's whatever. I mean, you make it work, but it would have been nice if we'd had the two, but
hmm
yeah. Yeah. So it was very good. So we made the most of it and it was a fantastic trip. And now I got to start thinking about when I'm going back. It's
Yep.
always the way. You
Yep.
finish one trip, you're on to the next.
Yep. Figuring out the next. We have to do some planning for 2024.
We do. We do. We've got a lot to do this year, I think.
And we'll see if we can fit in another cruise to nowhere.
Yeah, I would love to do another cruise to nowhere. Just
Yeah.
just chilling, relaxing, Carrie and Fran time. Carrie and
It's
Fran time is so important.
um Glenda went on an MSC over the holidays and it was a European cruise and she like it was amazing. All the itineraries, all the stuff they did whatever. But she did have some criticisms of MSC, which were mostly like ours, like really, like
Really?
and
Did
I
she
think it
get
was
butter at breakfast?
well, I didn't ask her to that detail, but I think the service and things was a little bit different because it was like they're a European line, but she was in Europe. So I think that the service and some things about the cruise that way was probably she had more concerns about it.
Uh-huh.
But generally, like talking about the food and this and that, like it was pretty much the same thing. And then at the end of when she was finished, she gives me a very complex and good review. And I said, but like, for instance, like, if an opportunity came up for me and you to jump on that cruise ship and just sail to nowhere and do nothing for a week, would you sail with them again? And she's like, absolutely. I'm laughing because I'm like, that's like we pretty much have come to the same conclusion
Yeah.
that she's been on Royal Caribbean. They love that experience. Like she can kind of compare, and I think she might choose Royal Caribbean if she had to choose between the two in the future. But then I did, well, what if this
What
opportunity came
about
up?
this?
She's like, I packed my bags and
Meet you at the port.
print my boarding pass. That's what she said. And it's like, and I'm like, but still, like, really, the overall, we've all come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just
Yeah.
had to say, I thought that was funny.
That's funny. And yeah, you and I need to do I think that might be our new sort of thing where, yes, we do Disney trips and blah, blah, blahs together, but we need to just figure out how to do Carrie and Fran sailed to nowhere trips.
Do nothing. We just need good internet.
That's all we need. That's all we need. Virgin had good internet. We could do a Virgin cruise, but I'd really like to do a cruise line I haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we need to figure that out.
I like to go on Celebrity, but I've been on them before, but I really like to go back.
But we could do that. We could do that. Yeah, see?
But yeah, there's lots to try. for sure.
We have so much to try. We have so much to do. You know what we need to do, Carrie? We
What?
need to get fired from our jobs so we have all the time in the
Yes.
world.
Yes. Put that on our 2024 to-do list.
That's on our goals for 2024. And then
Yeah.
we'll have to have 17 other jobs so that we can afford to do the things we want to do with all this new time we
Yeah.
have.
I'm gonna be a cat sitter. I'm gonna get a job at Tim Hortons.
I think I'd like to be a Walmart greeter.
No, I don't want to do that.
No,
No.
no.
I might build a cat babysitting empire.
Oh my gosh. A cat babysitting empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cats with cats. Cat with cats. I'm gonna franchise it.
Cat with cats?
Yeah, call me Cat.
Call
Cat
me
lady.
cat. Should be care for cats. Care
Yeah.
for cats. Oh, I love it. Let's trademark that. Care for cats.
No,
with
franchise
Carrie.
it.
Yeah.
But you can't work for me unless your name's Carrie. So I've got to scour the world for scour Ontario for people that will just,
my
we won't
gosh.
expand right away. Scour Southern Ontario for people
my
named
gosh.
Carrie that love cats, that need another side hustle, that want to be part of my cat business.
We have so many plans. You
So,
and I,
so many good ideas too.
we have so many good ideas. If we could just have the time to do it, we could fulfill all of our dreams with all of our side hustles and jobs that we have. Carrie, I think we could do it.
We could.
We could. And then we'll prioritize spending time. Carrie and Fran do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. Me too. That's our goal, 2024. Hashtag do nothing.
Do nothing.
Well, we eat and we puzzle. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's good.
Puzzling, eh?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep.
She's even got me puzzling.
Yep.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's it. Trip. We're done. We tripped.
You know, the only other thing I have to tell you, though, that I did discover that maybe other people knew that I did not know, was that, did you know that you could use a gift card to pay for mobile order?
Yes. But you have to enter the gift card every stinking time.
I know that's a bit of a pain, but I didn't know you could do that. And that was like an aha, because everybody kept telling me you can do it, but every time I went to add a payment, it didn't let me, because you can't save that as a payment method.
I wish you
actually
could.
have to re-enter it every time. So I just put like the numbers in my notes, and then I could just copy and paste it in every time. But yeah, so that was really, because you know me, I just buy gift cards and then I just keep applying to the same gift card that's in my wallet on my phone, so that it's really convenient. And then I lose track of how much I've spent so that I don't feel guilty about it. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's me.
Very cool.
All right, Carrie.
Yep.
It's that time of the podcast.
Yep.
What brought you some pixie dust this week?
Well, now that we're back from vacation and back to reality and back to the everyday, we're just working on all day and all night again.
I know.
So there hasn't really been a lot of room for pixie dust. But what I've been trying to do is cook more meals, because I do like to cook, and I'm an okay cook, I suppose. But when you get busy, you don't prioritize that stuff. So I've been trying to prioritize it. So I pulled out my crock pot, and I've been making some crock pot meals this week. And I've been making doubles. I made crock pot soup the other day, and it tasted good. So I made some more crock pot soup and dropped it off at my mom's house. And I got some crock pot soup to drop off at my sister's house later. Today, I've got chana masala in the crock pot. If it tastes good, I'm going to make another batch, drop it off at my sister's house. So I've been using my crock pot, and that's kind of pixie dust, because it's getting me to cook, and it's just something different. And I guess it's sort of bringing joy. I'm enjoying doing it, but it's also like feeling like that you're functioning kind of normal too, like you're doing what you're trying to get back to your routine or what you're supposed to be doing to take care of yourself.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my pixie dust. My crock potting. I've been crock potting.
You've been crock potting.
I've been everybody's been air frying, and I'm air frying too. But yeah, crock potting's is easy. Yeah, it's good for the winter time because like there's so many recipes for like soups and stews and and things
Yeah.
to make in there, right? And you make a big batch of it so then you have for lunch and
I'm
whatever.
not a
So
big
it's good for
soup
that.
person
Me
unless it's
neither.
French onion.
No, me neither, but like when it like for the winter time, like I would definitely make, stuff in there just so that
Mm,
I put it into containers and have it for lunch. Like for lunch, I'm not a like pack your lunch and make a sandwich type of person. Like I'm a leftover person. Like I want to
right.
have leftovers for lunch. So even if I made a crock pot soup and then just made it and packed it up for lunch for a week, then that like I don't yeah, I'll eat nothing before I'll pack like a traditional
A
lunch. Like
traditional
so
lunch.
like back in the old days when I had a lot more time, I cooked dinners every single night and I always made leftovers so that I had leftovers to bring for lunch the next day.
Wow.
Haven't been doing that for a couple of years.
Yeah, but that
Well,
was
since
back in the
COVID,
days
right?
when you
Like,
had one job.
yeah. So yeah, I've been crock potting, and that's been making
Nice.
me happy.
Seriously though, you said soup, and now all I can think about, where I really enjoyed the soup was at the Snow White dinner over at Wilderness Lodge.
Oh,
That soup is really good. I don't know what, like, just when you said about soup, that came into my head.
hmm.
That's really good soup.
Well, it's nice for the winter time at home, like
Yeah,
if you're crock potting because
if you're
it's
crock
cold
potting.
outside. It's cold outside, so
It's cold outside.
and soup's
So
easy.
you
You
think
warm it
about
up.
food, warm food.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
again, I like to have like leftovers. Leftovers are usually warm, so that's
yeah,
goes hand in hand.
right.
So, anyways, for me, anyway. So, what's your pixie dust?
Well, mine's the opposite. So while we were away,
Hmm.
they were having ice cream like every night. Um, and they mentioned to me that there was like a caramel Haagen-Dazs ice cream at home that Becky and Ross were both talking about this ice cream. So I bought it. Like I don't normally like these are things that I don't splurge on, right? So if I'm gonna buy ice cream, I'm buying a big tub of like no name ice cream for $6.99. I'm not spending $7 on something that's like two scoops. Um, but I did. I spent
And
the money on the
and
Haagen-Dazs little tub.
and
I understand why it's $7. It's delicious.
first
Oh
off,
my
the cheap
gosh.
ice cream taste doesn't taste the greatest. But don't also if you buy the
Yeah, but
big
I
tub of
put
ice
chocolate
cream,
shell on it. So
if you buy the big tub of ice cream, then you eat it till it's gone. That's the problem.
right. That's very true. So the Haagen-Dazs, yeah, it was definitely good. So that's my pixie dust was this Haagen-Dazs ice cream, but I don't think I'm going to buy it all the time because then I'll just be like
You'll
yeah.
be broke
I'll be
because you'll be
broken and fatter. So I need to temper my Haagen-Dazs purchases.
yeah. I
So
never buy Haagen-Dazs. I don't
no.
buy ice cream because if I buy ice cream, I will eat it. If I bought ice cream, I were to work every day, I would eat it every night after dinner, and then on the weekends, I would have it after my lunch and my dinner. I'd be like, "Oh,
Right.
time for dessert."
Time for dessert. That's the thing. Well, see, when I
Same
I'm
with
addicted
Nutella.
to the ice cream with the hard shell, like the chocolate shell that you buy to put on the ice cream. I love that. Like Dairy Queen, where
Yeah, it's
you
good.
oh my gosh, it's so good. But it's so hard to find sometimes in the grocery stores.
I've never
Sometimes
bought
I
it.
gotta order it on Amazon.
I see. You should just go to Dairy Queen and get out of the house.
I should, and then maybe I'd get some steps in. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I usually
see,
I won't buy that stuff, but then I'll go out and spend like you go to Dairy Queen and it costs like
yeah,
frig a medium cone costs like $6, I think now.
no
A medium dip
way.
cone. It's not that far off. It's probably 5 or 5.50 for like a
That
medium dip
bottle
cone.
of chocolate is like $6.
Again, but I'd buy the big bucket of ice cream and I'd be eating it every single day till it's gone. Same with Nutella. Can't have Nutella in the house because every meal with Nutella you can have Nutella for breakfast.
You
And then
could
you're like you've just ate a
you
big
could
meal,
put it
but you're
on a
like,
waffle.
it's time to have Nutella on some toast, even though I just ate my meal. Dessert time.
Oh, yes. So remember at the beginning of this podcast when we were talking about how we were out of shape and walking around?
Yeah, and now you know why.
Now you know
Everyone can
why.
put two and two together.
We're normal. This is how
Normal. It
people live.
is.
Yes,
It is.
it
I'm at
is.
least
Well, if you made it to the end of this podcast, thank you so much for listening. And as Carrie reminded us last week, please leave a rating and review if you haven't done so already, or you can leave a second if you'd like. And maybe tell somebody that you think might like the podcast to give us a listen, give us a try, and send in your suggestions for any topics you'd like us to cover. We have some good ones coming up. I'm not going to spoil
excited
them.
about the next one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
We have a guest.
We do.
That's never been on before.
Yes, it's very exciting.
A new guest.
And a pretty cool topic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're very excited. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
And that's good. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.